do you believe? Who do you trust? In a world that's hard to comprehend, to whom do you turn to understand the world? What God do you kneel before? The God of disinformation? The God of fear? Or do you worship at the altar of fact-based information? Information that helps you contextualize your world. Information that gives you a leg up in understanding the forces at play in your world. When you wake up in the morning, do you say, I'm going to perpetuate hate and division? Or do you say, I'm going to be a fact warrior?
Fact warrior. Fact warrior. Fact
Welcome to another episode. Welcome to your church. Welcome to another day where the spam bots spam you. Welcome to the Mega Church of Joy.
Hey, how about that? That was pretty fun, huh, everybody? Where's the chat? Why isn't it there? Holy crap. Oh, brother. Hello, welcome on in. Everybody, get on in here. Obviously, I did a bad job on the chat bot functions today because it's going hog wild. And if that's okay with you, it's okay with me. I'm your pal, Rev Deuce, and we are here to worship facts. We are here to spread joy. We are here to have a wonderful day in the face of all of the fascism, because there's no such thing as fascism when you're in the tub of joy with your old pal Deuce. Well, actually there is. And so we fight it. We fight it really hard every single day. We fight it every single moment. We get out of this tub, we dry off. I don't know if it's going to be less oppressive, Madison. We get out of this tub every single day, we dry off, and we go straight to the internet if we have nothing else to do. If we have something else to do, anything else to do, I highly recommend you do that. Log off, go for a walk, call a friend, read a book, make a new recipe, trim your toenails, pick your boogers and flick them straight into the sky with all the joy and love and excitement that you can muster. We are so grateful to have you here today to worship with us in a space of sanctity, a sacrosanct space, a sacrosanct tub, a tub of joy and love. How will you love people today? Who will you give your love to today? How will you support your friend Deuce? How will you support humanity and society? By supporting others, giving your love to others, being grateful for others. When you greet people today, will you be aware of your greeting every time? When you greet people today, will you be aware of your energy, your humanity, your consciousness, your body, your energy, your ability to be grateful for people in every moment when you see someone, even someone you do not like? Will you say, I'm grateful for this? I'm grateful for this Groundhog Day moment where every single day I see this person and I'm like, oh boy, I don't want to see them. How will you flip the script? How will you bring a different energy to that interaction? And how will you be a fact warrior today in the face of the division that they create for us? We are going to talk about all of those things today in the Mega Church of Joy. We are so grateful to have you here with us. We want you to be blasting your energy and your support across the internet. Let the people know. For the people did not know until they did know. For the people were in the dark until a member of the Mega Church of Joy turned on the light. How's that? How's that? It's interesting. Those things are behind me. For the people were unaware until they were aware. Yes, and. For the people were in ignorance until they were not. Yes, and. For the people did not read or pay for any type of news. Only 12% of them did until they became adherents of the Mega Church of Joy, and then everyone paid for news. Yes, and. So it is so wonderful to be here with all of you today. Let them know, bring them in, tell them, write them up. What's that? Blue, whatever. Elbow style. Boo-ba-doo, boo-ba-doo, boo-boo. Okay, everybody, we're in the tub, and Rev Deuce is just being a nut. So let's start with the Daily Dose. We like to start from the basis, from the foundation of joy and how we will use our energy today, because we want you to get ready to be a fact warrior every single day. The reason we have fascism in America is because we stopped giving a shit about our fellow humans. We have taken a step back from the plane of civic engagement. We are not engaging. We are not caring about the fact that a third of our fellow Americans have been turned against us in an information war, a hot war that has been waging for a long time. We are going to talk about that war today. But before any of those things, we are going to kick it off with the Daily Dose. This is how we go through our day every day as a member of the Mega Church of Joy. And so please, would you go through it with me? Self, today I endeavor to be a better teammate than yesterday. Hello, Charlotte F. We are reading a prayer that I created that you can use to have a great day. Self, today I endeavor to be a better teammate than yesterday. I vow to keep it simple, to listen better, commit harder, and to give more expertly. It is my joyous burden to make those around me appear as rock stars and support the ideas of others. I will move past obstructions, drop insecurities, and put trust in myself and others. I will attempt to emotionally connect with whomever I meet. I say this in the spirit of best intentions. Yes, and. Yes, and. Do you have a story out there that you want to share with Deuce? Deuce wants to hear it. Deuce wants to hear your story because he loves you, and everyone loves you, and you are a beautiful being of light. And so how will you use your energy today? Yes, and. Yesterday, we talked with Male Rights USA about what it means to be someone who cares deeply about the rights of women while also not listening to women at all. And if I got that wrong, Male Rights, and you're watching, we love you and we support you and we want to hear what you have to say, because it can feel like an attack, I'm sure. Linda Lowe, welcome into the Substack. How are you today, darling? We would love to hear from you, to hear what your media diet is, because we are in the state of fascism in America because we all stopped giving a crap about our media diet. Maybe we care about our own media diet. Maybe our favorite person in the world is our old pal. Hold on, we're going to get it. It's going to happen. Excuse my snort. Maybe our favorite person in the world is our old pal, Ezra Klein. But Ezra Klein is really basically nothing but a neoliberal. And that's okay if that's what you want to be. But if you want to tour the country telling people that the way forward for Democrats is to remove regulations, get rid of regulations, and abandon people, I don't know. That's not really, doesn't seem like a very supportive program to us. So this is a place where maybe you may get a different perspective on your information ecosystem, because a lot of people love this Ezra Klein guy. But so this is information that the Democrats have invited New York Times columnist Ezra Klein and Democrat data guru David Shore okay, to senators. One perspective I got on Ezra Klein and Derek Thompson is they wrote this book anticipating a Biden victory. They started writing the book anticipating. The book apparently is written in a way. The book is called Abundance. Anyway, let's move on. Today, what Rev Deuce wants to talk about is the information war that is waging around us at all times. There is an information war raging against us at all times, and Rev Deuce was doing a little bit of research yesterday, and he wants to go through that research with you. He does. He verily does. So let's go through that research together right now. So in 2018, USA Today wrote multiple articles about the attacks by foreign adversaries against all of us. Sorry for all these ads, everybody. Facebook foiled political influence campaigns originating in Iran, Russia, ahead of the midterms. Oh my God. Facebook says it foiled political influence campaigns originating out of Iran and Russia that targeted U.S. users. The campaigns, which mimicked previous Kremlin-style efforts to stir political discord around hot-button issues, also targeted users in the UK, the Middle East, and Latin America in a bid to sway world politics. This is happening right now today. Right now today, somewhere on your phone, as you surf the internet, you're going to surf straight through a disinformation campaign. This marks the first time Iran was implicated in a political influence campaign on Facebook. Interesting. Only 7 years ago. Chief dork in charge, Mark Zuckerberg, and chief fascist in waiting at the time, Mark Zuckerberg said, first, a set of activity from Iran, including some with ties to state-owned media, and second, a set of activity that the U.S. government and others have publicly linked to Russian military intelligence service. Facebook says it started investigating coordinated activity by a network of Facebook pages linked to Iran after being alerted by a cybersecurity firm, FireEye. I believe in the face of their fascist tilt, many of these companies have stopped using companies like FireEye, cybersecurity firms. Facebook removed 652 pages for coordinated inauthentic behavior. Nation states are increasingly experimenting with online campaigns to influence and shape political discourse. Excuse me, gross. The problem that Rev Deuce has is that they never give examples. They don't show mimetic examples. I guess the idea would be that people would then spread it. But here's one. Facebook was tipped off by FireEye in July to an organization called the Liberty Front Press. Facebook connected the group to Iranian state media and found it operated 147 pages. Well, what were they talking about? They purchased $6,000 of ads, organized 3 events. Here's part of a campaign from Russia. From Iran. That shared information about Middle East politics in Arabic and Farsi. These accounts were created over 12 years ago. U.S. Senator says this is further evidence that foreign adversaries are actively using social media to divide Americans and undermine our democratic institutions. That is happening right now today while we sit here. Okay, everybody? Okay, very few details. Now, so we've got the primer that as of at least 7 years ago, there were accounts being found, mass organized efforts to manipulate people around the world to sway world politics. Now, we also know from this article that 12 years ago is when these accounts were formed. This information war has been waged for a long time. This is why we worship facts here. Because in a world that is upside down, in a world that is destroyed by disinformation, are destroying our trust in each other and institutions, we need to worship facts. And we need to spread facts the Brooklyn way. Get active in those chats. We want to hear from you. Are you alive? What do you have to say about any of these things? If you're taking care of your children, ignore them. Look into your phone. Avert your gaze from your child and destroy their ability to make human connections as they grow up by engaging with Rev Deuce right now. Yes, and thank you. Now, where are we going with this? A Government Accountability Office study. A Government Accountability Office study. Foreign disinformation, defining and detecting threats. The Departments of State, Homeland Security, and Defense are working to define and detect foreign disinformation. This Q&A report, that sounds weird. What does that mean? Describes their efforts. We also discussed their relevant legal authorities. Let's get into it, shall we? Gang-a-lang-a-ding-dong. Now, what is this? How do we hide this? Get out of here. Don't want it. Never asked for it. Give it to me. I don't want it. All right, whatever. Oh, God, look at this. Got to do all this stuff. Oh, no, that doesn't work for you if I move it. Oh, no, the Irka-lurka ding-dongs. How do I get this to be displayed properly for everybody? Who could even say rotate clockwise? Fit to page, rotate clockwise. No, no, no. Fit to page? Okay, maybe, but then that's hard to see. Oh, brother, where art thou? Oh, brother, where art thou? Here we go. We're getting closer, Deuce. Oh, God. This is so hard to see, but that's okay. We're going to go through it. This is how might foreign governments quickly spread disinformation. Anyone knows how to get rid of the preview on a PDF. Oh, hell yeah, baby. We did it. We did it. Oh, we absolutely did it, didn't we, gang? We did it, didn't we? Okay, look at this. Figure 1. How might foreign governments quickly spread disinformation? Foreign government issues disinformation through a government-controlled media outlet. Websites with hidden connections repeat and spread the disinformation. Foreign government-controlled social media posts further spread it. Fake social media accounts created by organizations and individuals are paid to spread the disinformation online. The same individual or organization controls multiple accounts under different account names. Then people using social media in the U.S. and abroad unknowingly share disinformation. What a great thing for me to use all the time, this chart. Disinformation flows into the media and onto their wider audiences. Foreign disinformation may cause mistrust in government and legitimate sources of information and increase division among U.S. citizens. I can hear the MAGA friends and loved ones right now saying, you trust the government, dude? What are you, an idiot? I trust Tucker Carlson, dude. You're an idiot, dude. I can hear him right now. That's exactly how most people sound when they talk. Madison, by the way, yesterday, not speaking of you talking that way, but Madison, yesterday, Mom Rowe asked about ground news. And I forgot to mention that you were so integral in helping make that video. So thank you. Yes, Ed, I love you. Get active in the chat, please. Thank you. Yes, and. We were asked to describe the U.S. efforts to counter foreign disinformation. This first of 2 reports examines how relevant U.S. government agencies define and detect foreign disinformation threats and the legal authorities these agencies use. That's boring. They monitor public and non-public to define related terms. Most of the U.S. agencies we spoke to use. All right, here we go. Russia. Russia attempted to undermine global support for Ukraine with their disinformation campaign. Clemson University, they impersonate U.S. news websites and push Russian government propaganda, while also reporting on local news, culture, and politics to make their websites appear as credible sources. Clemson's Media Forensics Hub. I need that. Wait, I need to go to that. Clemson Media Forensics Hub. Hell yeah. What the hell? I need this deeply. Hell yeah. What do we got? Give it to me, you tigers, or whatever you are. Understand, build society's content origins and impact of modern media. I love this. Generative propaganda evidence of AI's impact on state-backed disinformation campaign. I love this. Ooh, we're going to make some videos from that. Yes, and I love you. You love me. We are a global family. Where was I? Here I am. For example, a November 2023 article from DC Weekly falsely claimed Zelensky had used American aid money to buy 2 yachts. So MAGA, the disinformation is coming from Russia and it is beamed into your dome pieces, MAGA. The People's Republic of China has also actively been creating and spreading disinformation globally to boost pro-PRC content and suppress criticism. Let's see. 1, leveraging propaganda and censorship. 2, promoting PRC surveillance technology information control tactics. 3, exploiting international organization and bilateral partnerships. 4, co-opting and pressuring prominent individuals to shape their views in line with PRC's desired narratives and exercising control of Chinese language media. The People's Republic of China employs software applications that run automated tasks on the internet to imitate human activity, such as much messaging on a large scale, bots. Individuals who post messages online with the intention of distracting from an online discussion or causing fear and anger. Fake social media accounts and flooding, a tactic that manipulates search engine results and hashtag searches. Hope they don't find me. In a specific example, PRC used social media channels and traditional state-controlled media to disseminate and amplify false claims in Zimbabwe. Iran is becoming increasingly aggressive in trying to undermine confidence in U.S. democratic institutions. Now, what would be great is if they shared this stuff. Now, this falls short for me. Real Madison says, what if the news wasn't scary for like one day? What does everyone else have to say about that? Are you scared of the news? Tell your friend Deuce and he will support you. Give your friend Deuce all of your money and he will support you. Well, this is why we worship facts here, Madison. This is why we worship facts here. Now, I thought I had another thing up. I must have deleted it like a dum-dum. But fuel on the fire, information as a weapon. This is recent. This is from Center for Intelligence and Non-something. Where is this from? What is this? What is Deuce about to share with you? He needs to check on it. Good morning. Good morning, Michaela. I spoke about you last night at dinner. I mentioned that I had someone in my congregation. What's our name for it? Is it a congregation who is... That's okay. I mentioned the furry community and the fear of being canceled by the furries. Now, what is this? The Foreign Policy Research Institute is dedicated to producing the highest quality scholarship and nonpartisan policy analysis focused on crucial foreign policy and national security challenging facing the United States. We educate those who make their influence policy. Okay. Who was it founded by? Some ambassador. Okay, nonprofit organization has 4 main. All right, when we aren't sure, we go to SourceWatch. And what is this called? Foreign Policy Research Institute. We're just verifying the information source before we go and talk more about it, everybody. Let's see. How do I... Where's the search? There we go. Foreign Policy Research Institute. Think tank in 1955. It has a nexus of strong foundation based at the University of Pennsylvania. Okay, I don't see any ties to right-wing billionaires here, so I'm going to move on. Yes, and I love you, you love me. Michaela, thank you so much for being here. Michaela, what we're doing is we're going through talking about the efforts to destroy our faith in institutions by foreign adversaries. So we are reading this, Fuel on the Fire, Information as a Weapon. Bottom line, foreign information manipulation and interference. Timmy, that's dumb. The intentional abuse of the free flow of information with the clear intent to deceive seeks to create division and distrust, recruit allies, and undermine fact-based journalism. This is the article from me. Foreign manipulation relies on emotions and urgency to capture minds by exaggerating fears, implying grave threats to social order and to groups with whom the recipient identifies, and hinting at conspiracies to keep essential information from the recipient. The best ways to counter foreign manipulation are through interagency and international partnerships. Probably it's the best way is to worship facts. Isn't that right? Welcome to everybody who is coming in, who is new in Substack. Hello, welcome. We are worshiping facts today. We are going to be fact warriors in the face of the information war that is being waged against us at all times. And we are specifically discussing the international attempts to destroy our faith in institutions. So we're going to go through this article today, and I would love for you to go through it with me. Because guess what Steve Bannon was doing this weekend? He was doing this. He was flooding everybody's zone with shit. Look at him. He's on the other side of your phone at all times, and so is Iran, and so is China, and so is Vladimir Putin. And they are trying to F you up in the mind, all of us, at all times. It's why we have fascism in America, because we have been told by foreign countries acting as Americans that we should have it's so funny to me too, Madison. Just a reminder, this program is brought to you by Grass Milk Soar. So let's get right back into it. On December 7th, 1941, a day that will live in infamy, the United States was thrust into the Second World War, a surprise assault that caught America sleeping by Japan. On September 11th, a surprise attack that few anticipated by Al-Qaeda activity. It is hard to determine when exactly the third surprise attack that caught America sleeping actually started, because it did not begin with a bang, but a whisper that third assault is still underway today, though few are aware that it exists. Holy crap, I did not read this article yet. That new threat is foreign manipulation and interference of information. It lurks on the social media sites we visit and in the various ways we obtain our news and information. Okay. Information is vital to our social fabric, yes and. We shape much of our decision-making by the information we receive, yes and. For centuries, people relied on their elders and religious leaders to guide them in interpreting new information, yes and. They advised what was worth worrying about and what was trivial. In many nations during the 19th and 20th century, religion's guiding hand was replaced by new isms. Communism, fascism, capitalism, liberalism, nationalism. Like religious gurus, modern political leaders managed the flow of news to the masses, had instructed them on the proper ways in which to interpret it. Today, religion and political ideologies exert less influence on many people, but the flow of information has not decreased. In fact, I would say that we are in the midst of a revolution of information, the internet and social media. I'm sure this article agrees. In fact, thanks to the internet and modern communications, we can access more information than ever. But that information no longer reaches us via the advanced review of editors, station managers, and political and religious censors, and others who shaped what we saw and heard in the past. And of course, gatekeepers are problematic. but they also served an immunizing function to some degree, while also not conveying a diversity of opinion, while also leaving out labor movements and civil rights movements often in the mainstream press and things like that. But now the result of our social media world is the chaotic blitz of stimulants. Every nation seeks to influence audiences in other countries and to convey its values. That's a natural part of diplomacy, but they now hide their true identities online behind false websites, proxy agents, copycat organizations, trolls, bots, and deepfakes, because they know their audience will be skeptical. If the Kremlin was straight up telling you Elon Musk is great, you'd be like, oh, maybe Elon Musk isn't great. But if Tim Pool tells you Elon Musk is great because Russia pays him hundreds of $1,000s, literally that's what they did a survey, they did research. I think it was Vox or Wired, maybe it was Wired. They did research on that tenant media thing. You know how the right-wing influencers like Benny Johnson and Tim Pool and Dave Rubin, you know, the tenant media thing, maybe you've heard of it. Right? These American influencers were paid hundreds of thousands of dollars each by Russia. But they do it that way so that, you know, you're not suspicious. You say, well, here's a bald guy with a beanie on who shouts at teens. I've got to listen to this guy. I don't know why. I don't know why you fall for it, MAGA. We love you and we want you back on the information stream that is non-propaganda. In as much as mainstream corporate media is not propaganda. Foreign information manipulation and interference is defined by the U.S. government and by the European Union as the clandestine use of propaganda and disinformation to create an international information environment conducive to a nation's policy objective. Okay, we get the picture. Why it works. Look at these guys. As with it. Jason, as you continue to use your Abstract J account, I forget your name. I forget your full name. Jason is on Substack, and he is saying that he remembers the whole tenant media debacle. Now, can you get active in the chat, folks, please? I'm begging you. Talk about this. What are your feelings about this? Pretend that we are in class, and you will be graded on your participation. Pretend you are in class and you will be graded on your participation. We all remember what that was like. You had to raise your hand. Do they still do that? Because according to Stephen Miller, the only thing they're teaching in our schools, our public schools, is for children to hate themselves and to hate America. Madison, you always get an A. As with alcohol, the wrong distillation process or too much of a good thing can create harmful effects. Information manipulators are master brewers, able to mix truth with fiction and mimic reputable sites in such a way that many consume distorted news without realizing what they are swallowing. Hell yeah, I love this. Also, like alcohol, manipulated information amplifies emotions. It turns normal political differences into bitter confrontations. It undermines confidence in those we need to trust, and it can destroy long-standing relationships. Does that sound familiar, Madison? Does that sound familiar to any of you out there, MAGA or not? Are you are you destroyed in your long-term relationships with friends, family, loved ones? The purveyors of disinformation and distortion know their craft, and they know that the best way to make information stick is not with cold, hard facts, but with emotive, conspiratorial whispers, ideally spiked with a sense of extreme urgency. Think about the memories you retained from when you were young. Do you recall the more routine days of your childhood, or mostly a few moments when you were particularly angry, frightened, surprised, joyous, or sad? Likewise, information manipulators prey on our emotions and convey information that evokes instant fury, fear, shock, elation, or sorrow. One of Rev Deuce's tricks for knowing that you might be looking at disinformation or something that is meant to manipulate you is, does it immediately feel like you want to go share it? Does it immediately feel like, oh my God, everybody's got to know about this. This is crazy. Those are the times, especially when you are on the internet surfing that web looking for the great joy of riding that next tube, but there are sharks all around, my friends, and the water is chummed with disinformation. Yes, and we just made that up. Ronald Thomas, we are talking about foreign information manipulation campaigns because we are fact warriors here. Do you want to be a fact warrior with us?
Fact warrior. Fact warrior.
That is literally me, the fact thing. That's like me. I recorded my voice multiple times and stacked it, right? So the fact chanting, I was pretty proud of that. It's hard to discern, but that's what I'm chanting. Fact. Okay, so for many years, the Kremlin pushed foreign information manipulation campaigns. Yes, Shawnee, you've heard these. You were here the other day, right? Because you know the other one too. We're just gonna come on, everybody. Let's have fun.
Fact warrior.
I mean, what is this? What does this sound like?
Fact warrior.
Thank you, Madison. I spent way too much time on it.
Fact warrior. Fact warrior.
I mean, it's a banger, everybody. It's a banger. I had to just painstakingly line those up. Yes, it's like a Ford F-150 commercial for fact-based journalism. Yes, incredible. It is. That's amazing. So let's get into this. Let's figure out what the hell's going on. Okay, this is what's really going on. Okay, if Rachel Maddow was doing the right thing, she would be talking about this every single friggin' day. Now look, cable news is one of the worst forms of an information diet. And now look, I want to share something with you. If Fairleigh Dickinson University study, MSNBC, Fox. I want to show you this 2012 study. It's just all this stuff just floats around in the old duder's head, you know. Watching only Fox News makes you less informed than watching no news at all. This is a favorite of mine. This is an old school hit. Media outlets such as Fox News and MSNBC have a negative impact on people's current events knowledge, while NPR and Sunday morning political talk shows are the most informative source of news. I am going to take a big poop on that sentence because Sunday morning political talk shows are not an informative source of news. That is wrong. I was going to pull up this study and then immediately take a big poo-poo on it, but I gotta say, the Sunday morning political talk shows are increasingly, over the last decade at least, have served as a place for propagandists to come on. It's basically like, hey, I'd like to invite you to come and lie to people, and I will give you very minimal pushback. That especially is what we saw in the wake of January 6th with Chuck Todd when he was the host of Meet the Press, where he would just invite people who had lied about elections for months to the point where they fomented a coup attempt in America. And he would go, okay, cool, great. You just said a bunch of lies. Thank you for your time. He would barely push back. That's dumb. That's not how it should work. But we do want to take as good faith the actual results of the study that said on average people answered correctly 1.6 out of 5 questions about domestic affairs. But people who watched only Fox News would be expected to answer 1.04 domestic questions correctly, compared to 1.22 for those who watched no news at all. So if you literally watched no news at all, and then look at that, if you watched The Daily Show with Jon Stewart, you were smarter. But if you only listen to NPR, only watch Sunday morning political talk shows, you answered 1.51 questions correctly. Now, see, I would see about that Sunday morning political talk show stat. What I would say is that if you are already watching Sunday morning political talk shows, you are already a hyper-informed person. I would not say it is the result. What I would say is that this study is more about, like, if it based on the things that you find interesting and the things that you're interested in, that is going to be an indicator. Oh, we've got an incoming call. We're going to take a call on the show right now. How exciting. While we talk with this person, we are going to pull up our website, but we're first going to make sure we don't miss the call. Hello, you are on the air with Rev Deuce. Rev Deuce loves you, and you love Rev Deuce. I've got your back.
I've got your back too, Rev. It's David.
Okay, David, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. And I just wanted to come in to talk about a general fear, a fear that I personally don't have, but I think maybe out in the world that may kind of explain this phenomenon that's happening when it comes to journalists not providing pushback to the people that they're interviewing.
Okay, hell yeah.
I think that it comes from a place of fear that they'll create a quote-unquote hostile interview environment and people won't want to go on. So they just provide them these softball, make you look good questions so that they can continue to get guests.
David, what you are talking about is the phenomenon known as access journalism. Specifically, is used to apply to the press, to printed word journalists, people like Maggie Haberman at the New York Times, and it is part of one of the filters that someone like Noam Chomsky would talk about when talking about how mainstream media, corporate commercial media, manufactures consent. So if you live in a capitalist system where the reporters are trying to get scoops from the people in power, there is going to be a natural pressure where you want to not offend the people who will also be giving you the scoops. So you are correct, right? If people don't think that they want to go on a program, if a congressperson doesn't want to go on a program because they are going to get asked actual questions by an actual journalist who is actually afflicting the comfortable, who is actually attempting to hold power accountable, then, so we have in the mainstream. And so then therefore also we don't have officials usually going into spaces in general that are combative, right? People were just talking about how Terry Moran, right? If you saw that interview with ABC News where Terry Moran interviewed Donald Trump, and David, people were saying that was an incredible job by Terry Moran. Meanwhile, the president of the United States is either deranged or lying directly to his face, and Terry Moran is saying, I just want to move on. So we don't understand why folks think that was such a great job by Terry Moran. But you are absolutely right, David. That is why we have the mainstream system for informing the public that does not do an adequate job of maintaining the function of journalism, which is to be an immune system for democracy. I got there. Thank you. Yes, Ed. What do you think about that, David?
So access journalism. I'm happy that I figured out the terminology for it. That would best describe the phenomenon. It just seems like you can't really form any sort of aggressive position in any of these environments because they're so quick to stack the deck against you. So they're so quick to say the AP needs to get out of the room. They're so quick to say we're going to hold an influencer's interview briefing and make this all look like news. So, I mean, that's how I'm feeling about it. Like, it's just I would find it very difficult to see anyone today start off in a journalistic career and make it to the point where they're providing, hard-hitting journalistic questions to both presidential candidates in an election.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're right. And so that's why what we need to do, especially during election seasons, is find independent and nonprofit outlets that are reporting in the public interest and are providing the public with the context that they need to understand the candidates. Especially in election seasons, what we have is something called horse race political coverage, which talks about who's in front, who's falling behind, the strategies of the campaign versus the actual issues that matter to people's lives, which would be actually doing journalism in the public interest.
Well, thank you very much, Rob, for having me on and let me talk and express my fear and helping educate me on it.
Oh, David, you
That's
sexy
not
beast.
a legitimate one. Love you, Rob.
I love you. Goodbye. Have a wonderful day. Okay, that was David. David is a friend of the program, one of our best friends of the program, and we love him so much. We love you. Would you like to call in and talk to Deuce right now? Would you like to call in and talk to Deuce about a problem that is in your life? Would you like to call in to talk to Deuce and talk about your media diet? Because what we do here is, in the face of fear, in the face of a program of fear and division that's created by the global authoritarians and oligarchs to divide us all so that they can enrich themselves and destroy democracies, what we do is we worship facts.
Do you need a guiding light in your life? Are you feeling lost, alone, confused about where to go or what to do in a world turned upside down? Well, you're invited to worship facts in the Mega Church of Joy every 9 to 11 a.m. Tell your friends that they no longer have to be afraid. Tell your friends that they can be the smartest person at every cocktail party and water cooler around the nation, as long as they're worshiping facts in the Mega Church of Joy. Brought to you by Grass Milk. Grass Milk. Soar.
Yes, and let's get right back to it, everybody. What were we even talking about? Oh, we were talking about my favorite old study about how if you literally watch Fox News, you're smarter than watching no news at all. I got to bring that one up more often. Do we have any MAGA folks in the house? M. Frank, how are you? If you are here on the Substack, would you please, if you are capable, if you are able, get a Twitch account right now and go log on to Twitch. Rev Deuce is trying to get some crap going over there. I don't know what it is, but I need to eventually grift all of you and make money off of this because I'm just doing this every friggin' day for free. And I need to make money because I need to provide for my honey. She's my little bunny, and she's pretty funny. And living in New York costs a tonny. Yes, and Bobby Newport, who the hell is that? Traction is the action. Rev Deuce is looking for. You are the people that I am cheering more. Yes, and we are being stupid. Okay, let's go. Let's get back into it. We are going back into this incredible article. Rev Deuce's big goal for the week is to create an article that is basically, the title is going to be Context, Be the Smartest Person in Your Next Group Conversation. Oh, maybe it's Be the Smartest Person in Your Group Thread about what's happening in America. That's way too long. Okay, here we go. Figure out a good, better headline, and I'm going to include that article from yesterday. This one, incredible article. I might include this article. Nah, but I definitely might include this article. Let's keep pushing on, everybody. I love you, James Bush. Welcome into the program. James Bush, do you want to be a fact warrior with us today? Flooding the zone with facts in the face of people like Steve Bannon, who literally flood your brain with shit at all times. Steve Bannon is on record, enemy of democracy, saying that the media is not the enemy, that the Democrats are not the enemy, it is the media, and so therefore you have to flood the zone with shit. And there he is, flooding someone's zone, the guy's whole zone with shit. We're going to keep making hilarious things. Okay, everybody. Let's get back into this. This is fascinating stuff. For many years, the Kremlin pushed propaganda campaigns. The U.S. military created HIV, COVID-19, and other diseases, part of bioweapons programs. That's pretty good, David. And that American vaccines would make Asian women sterile. Okay, holy crap. No matter how logical part of your mind tells you that such a claim is ridiculous, your heart might still skip a beat as you think about the consequences, especially if you are Asian. Wow, okay. This is an interesting looking book. Let's get to it, though. Fear of outsiders, fear of disruptions, fear of being left behind. This is fascinating stuff for Deuce. Okay, case study. Okay, let's read this case study. In 2016 and 2017, while the author was teaching at George Washington University, Colin Kaepernick and others began to kneel during the national anthem as a protest about race relations in the United States. A group of George Washington grad students looked at tens of thousands of social media posts made at the time on all sides of the issue. Some posts defended the players, praising the peaceful nature of their protest, but calling on all Americans to rise up and join their cause. An equal number of posts brutally criticized the NFL players, saying that they were trampling on the American flag. flag, and was on the graves of U.S. veterans that they were kneeling, and urging those who agreed to rise up immediately and protest their actions. What the students uncovered is that almost 2/3 of the posts, now this is what Rev Deuce needs, almost 2/3 of the posts originated not in the United States, but in St. Petersburg, Russia, where very few NFL fans live. I love that parenthetical. That's hilarious. They were coming from Russian troll farms. Each troll was sending inflammatory messages. Hey, Palatos, get on in here. We love you. We are talking about our information ecosystem because here we worship facts. Because guess what? Our world is being destroyed by people who hate us like Vladimir Putin and Elon Musk. It's us versus them, not you versus me. We're trying to get our MAGA friends and loved ones to understand. I love these comments from Madison and David. I know it does sound so fake, but it's not. Each troll was sending inflammatory messages to those on both sides of the debate. They were not interested in defending the players' rights, promoting African American causes, or defending the U.S. national anthem. They were using the incident to provoke anger and resentment and create social conflict in America using emotion, urgency, and perceived threats. Okay, this is like gold to your friend Rev Deuce as he talks about the information war. Rev Deuce found some gold today. Doop, 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 DB day. If you don't want people to kneel on the graves, ask why they are doing that and address that. I think you're being very literal, David. Is that what's happening? Now, let's see. Is this a link to the study? No. Oh, okay. This is like literally the author of this piece is talking about his own experience. So who engages in foreign information manipulation? The denizens of the Kremlin, the Chinese Communist Party, and the Ayatollahs in Iran have for many years experienced propagandizing their own citizen. They are experts at stretching the truth as it suits them. And I would wager also so are the Christian nationalist billionaire think tanks in America. People like Brian Timpone, Metric Media. Are we aware of Pink Slime? Brian Timpone, Metric Media. This is how you can be a fact warrior. You can be a fact warrior by sharing this article with everyone that you know. So everybody, we are going to be fact warriors right now.
Fact warrior.
I'm dropping this into the chat. Listen to the song, get pumped up. Take action with Rev Deuce right now. Take action with Rev Deuce right now. Spread that article on your social media. Tell people about it. Do it right now. I made this F-150 anthem.
Tough. Are you a fact warrior? It takes a certain kind of person to fight for their country, to fight for others, the few, the proud, the fact warriors.
Fact warrior.
Okay, right back into it, babies. In the article, would you consider adding a sort of bingo book for disinformers? I don't know what that means, David. I think I kind of do. Real Madison, what did you say? States that feel overmatched by NATO or other international alliances, or maybe by the Western states, may see it as something that gives them an advantage, this foreign information manipulation. Like a most wanted list of what to look for disinformation? Or for Russia? Interesting. That's an interesting idea, David. Wanted poster for destroying democracy. Faith in democracy. Well, let's add it to the list of 9 million things for Rev Deuce to do. So Russia, we're talking about Russia. They're going back to the Tsarist. What the frig? Okay, sometimes these articles, I wish there was a softer, girlier way to say, I'm gonna F up your stuff with facts. Interesting. The CCP tends to be more subtle than Vladimir Putin's agents of manipulation, but the PRC spends even more resources than Russia to spin the world their way. Beijing has invested billions of dollars to construct a new information ecosystem in which PRC propaganda and disinformation gain traction and become more dominant. The PRC, what's this article? How the People's Republic of China seeks to reshape the global information environment. Okay. I like that. Yes, Cryros, we needed the follow. Thank you so much. Hell yeah. Welcome into the program. We are big fact warriors, Chris. Welcome into the program. This program is sponsored by Grass Milk. Grass Milk Soar. Are you following out there? If you're not following, please follow Deuce. And please, if you are on Substack, go to Twitch, twitch.tv/Public Enlightenment, where you can help Rev Deuce by watching this program on Twitch and engaging in the chat. Together, these five mutually... Okay. The PRC's approach features 5 primary elements: leveraging propaganda and censorship, promoting digital authoritarianism, what's that? Exploiting existing international organizations and bilateral partnerships, pairing co-optation with pressure. Okay, use normal words, everybody. What are you, Seth Milchek? You know what I mean? Are you friggin' Seth Milchek? He's been advised that he should not be using big words in the workplace. The CCP also practices digital sovereignty. Okay, Iran and terrorist groups. The Ayatollahs and their Islamic Revolutionary Guards do not have the same global reach or billion-dollar foreign information manipulation budgets, but they make similar efforts to spread their ideology. Now, I hope they talk about Palestine, because I do feel like, oh, that's right, I need to make a meme of milkshakes of dog shit and broken glass. Or I need to make a meme. You know what, Madison, do you want to make a meme that's like someone, it's like progressive. It's like someone sucking down of Fox News and RSBN and OANN and Tucker Carlson and Ben Shapiro milkshake, and then they're like dying, their brain is dying or something. Or like a bunch of bald eagles are like weeping over their brain at their brain funeral. Does that make sense? Can you do that? Having a brain funeral for someone after they kill themselves with toxic brain poison? Hell yeah. Okay, in addition, okay, what do we got? Iran's long repression. These violent extremist organizations use social media to communicate with their own followers and seek those who hope to join them. Their social media messaging continually urges new violent attacks, seeks new ways to raise funds. Okay, so how do we win? All right, this article is good and also bad. In some cases, it may be useful to pre-brunk foreign manipulation, information manipulation campaigns. Second, the United States should work hard to build interagency. Okay. For example, do you recall receiving emails from a Nigerian prince who wished to share his riches with you if you would only first provide your bank account information? A few people actually fell for that trap. Today, most of us delete and disregard any such requests. Modern information manipulators are now much more subtle and devious, but with enough training in how to recognize disinformation, we can build up a resistance to these new poisons too. Well, where's that? Anytime a social media message or email triggers a strong emotional reaction, Rev Deuce is right, in you, or urges you to act immediately, you should think Nigerian prince. That's good. And take a few minutes to assess it. If you have any doubts about the sender or content, go to a reputable fact-checking website or research the background of the person or organization. Yes, that sent the message before you share. Finally, we must acknowledge that artificial intelligence is accelerating the speed with which our adversaries can spread foreign manipulation. We can use new technologies to detect disinformation. What are these new technologies? Rev News wants to know. What is it? Fact-checking. Okay, that's not a new technology, you big dummies. What? What is this? What is this a link to? Soggy Noodle Lord 5. Are you a real person? GTA 6 trailer 2 just dropped? Sean, is that a former coworker of yours? Narrative intelligence, detecting Chinese and Russian information operations to disrupt NATO unity. Okay, fascinating. Well, Soggy Noodle Lord 5, what's your information diet? We would love to know. 5 decades ago, the number of commercial airline hijackings by criminal terrorists and deranged people skyrocketed. There were over 305 hijackings, blah, blah, blah. The hijacking of our social media sites will continue until we develop the same resolve to improve our threat awareness, to deter weaponized access, and to make it harder for the malign actors to escape punishment. America and its allies rose up to defeat the Nazis and Japanese militarists in 1940. Carl Stoltz. Okay, we need to look up Carl Stoltz as well. Go to Blue Sky right now. Carl Stoltz. No, he doesn't have a Blue Sky. What a dork. Carl, you're a dork. Okay. Let's go through and read the news with Rev Deuce now, shall we? Rev Deuce did not do too much news reading, but let's check it out. First of all, anytime we go to X to share something, we have to check in on Elon Musk. He's not well. He's a scared little boy sharing disinformation. He's obviously not doing well in life. If you're on Substack right now, would you do me a favor and just give me a heart to let me know that you're there? I would love to know about that. I would love to know that you are here and watching with your old pal Rev Deuce. Now look at this. JD Vance is saying this is just sick. Actually, genocidal language. What a disgrace this person is. JD Vance is saying this while retweeting an account that is a domestic terrorism account. Libs of TikTok has gotten hospitals to have bomb threats, schools to have bomb threats called in against them, because Libs of TikTok is basically a terrorist organization run by one woman. I think her name is Charna Dumtek or whatever. And she basically fires up people's emotions to get them to call in bomb threats because they are believe that, you know, children are being harmed in schools and hospitals. So he could be talking about Libs of TikTok. He's talking about Ilhan Omar, and he's saying our country should be more fearful, she's saying, of white men because they are causing most of the deaths within this country. Now, this person makes an incredible point. Your rhetoric on immigrants, particularly Haitians, stirred significant controversy and caused distress, especially in communities like in Springfield, Ohio, right? Then she says, she's responding specifically. There we go. She was asked how she'd respond to racists who use fear to justify anti-Muslim and anti-immigrant policies, and she playfully responded by saying, perhaps we should fear white extremists. So JD Vance, as usual, is not being an honest person here. And so we just wanted to share with you what is going on, the way that they are manipulating people by, you know, misrepresenting reality.
I would say our country should be more fearful of white men across our country, because they are actually causing most of the deaths within this country. We should be profiling, monitoring, and creating policies to fight the radicalization of white men.
So, Mom Ro, we're so grateful for you being here right now. And what we want to say to you is that all of these episodes are now being stored on publicenlightenment.com. This is what we've done. You can always also get these episodes, I think, on Twitch or whatever, but I think we're going to store them here in general. And so you go to Mega Church of Joy, you go to click on this link. What the heck? There we go. And then archive of past episodes, and we put one there yesterday. So you can always check in with your old pal Deuce if you're missing him, you know, if you want to check in with them. But anyway, let's get back to reading the news with Deuce. Okay. So, okay, JD Vance is a scared little boy who is acting out a program of fear. Is this the Ezra Klein thing? Yeah, we already covered that. And then Rev Deuce did not have a lot of time to look through the news. Now look at this. This is just wild shit. The propaganda is unreal, everybody.
His responsibilities are under Article 5 of the Constitution. Who would it be who would educate him about that? Would it be you?
I think the president is one of the, if not the most knowledgeable president that we've ever had. Look, People can beat on President Trump all you want.
Tom Homan just said Donald Trump is the most knowledgeable president we've ever had. We've had presidents who were Rhodes Scholars. We've had presidents like Abe Lincoln, who taught himself to be a lawyer using, what was this called, Blackwell's, whatever it was. The way that you became a lawyer back in the 1800s was to read this book, basically. We have had extremely intelligent people be presidents of the United States. Donald Trump is an incurious, narcissistic sociopath who is a corrupt person who has raped multiple people and who is bragged about sexual assault. He lies constantly. We need to just be sane here, right? Let's just be sane and push back against, the thing about Trump derangement syndrome. The thing about Trump derangement syndrome is it is a projection, right? Trump derangement syndrome. Look, I'm not trying to call anybody deranged, but let's be real, okay? Are you kidding my daddy? Like, there is a man who has lied every single day of his life. He clearly has a personality disorder. He clearly does not care about anything except for enriching himself. He is engaging in massive acts of corruption, having people pay for audiences with him at Mar-a-Lago, setting up a crypto exchange, a crypto coin that he can be anonymously bribed with by anyone around the world. He is further enriching himself and engaging in corruption with the Saudis. Let's look up at what Witkoff has been doing, traveling around the country. All of these things, right? So for Tom Homan to say, you know what, Sean, you sent me some incredible stuff the other day, and I meant to incorporate it into my program. Anyway, this is just absurd propaganda, everybody.
The president says he doesn't know what his responsibilities are under Article 5 of the Constitution. Who would it be who would educate him about that? Would it be you?
I think the president is one of the, if not the most knowledgeable president that we've ever had. Look, people can beat on President Trump all you want. President Trump's a game changer. I worked for 6 presidents, starting with Ronald Reagan. I'm a border guy. Even President Clinton and Obama took steps to secure the border because they understood you can't have national security if you don't have border security. No one did more than President Trump during his first administration. We handed the Biden administration the most secure border in my lifetime, and he purposely unsecured it. First president in the history of the nation to do that. Look at what President Trump achieved in 8 weeks. He did in 8 weeks what Joe Biden couldn't and wouldn't do in 4 years. We have the most secure border in the history of this nation right now because of President Trump. Greatest president in my lifetime. You can quote me on it.
The propaganda is out of control, everybody. And you need propaganda to sustain someone who is so demonstrably unfit for office, right? So wildly unfit for office. I was having so many millions of thoughts while I was just watching Tom Homan do that. Okay, so we learned about foreign influence campaigns today. My big takeaway from this article is this case study. My big takeaway from this article is this case study. I want you to tell everybody about it. I want you to shout it from the rooftops. Once I find it. In 2016, 2017, there were the kneeling protests by Colin Kaepernick, right? George Washington University students studied thousands of social media posts across all ideological perspectives. They uncovered that almost 2/3 of the posts originated not in the United States, but in St. Petersburg, Russia. Okay? So if you believe that the NFL players kneeling were trampling on the American flag and kneeling on the graves of U.S. veterans, guess what? You may be a redneck. Sorry, I didn't mean to be mean about that, but I just felt like I sounded like Jeff Foxworthy. If you believe any piece of disinformation or any meme on the internet, you might be disinformed. You might be a redneck. What is it? You might be disinformed. All right, should we sing a song? Let's sing a song as a palate cleanser. I need the suggestion of a culture war bullshit topic that is created a missile of culture war bullshit that is created in the psychological arms dealing think tanks of the right-wing Christian billionaires. That's what I need. I need the suggestion of that so that we can go to Pixabay. Oh, I brought up Timpone and then I didn't even talk about it. What a maniac I am. How does I even get through the day? So please, everybody, I need you. I need you to give me the suggestion of a culture war bullshit topic. Please. I desperately need that from all of you. Please give me the suggestion of a culture war bullshit topic and we will improvise it into a song. And I also need you to tell me the genre. Now, don't be shy out there now. And while I'm waiting for you to do that, I'm going to...
Are you alone in a world of hate and division? Are you looking for answers? Do you have a deep need to understand your world? To be in control of a life that feels out of control? Are you someone living in the Seattle area whose name might be Emma? And have you decided that you're going to worship facts every day, in every way? Well, you're in the right place because you are a fact warrior in the mega church of joy. Brought to you by Grass Milk. Grass Milk Soar. So we need the suggestion of a culture war bullshit topic that is generated by the psychological arms dealers in...
Kids don't need toys for Christmas. Yes, David is talking about... So David has suggested that the kids don't need toys for Christmas. He is referring to Donald Trump the other day. I mean, can you imagine if you're a doll manufacturer in America, in the capitalist nation, that everyone who votes for Donald Trump believes he's a great businessman? And Donald Trump was in the White House the other day saying that, look, maybe the kids, they don't need 30 dolls. Maybe they just need $2, and that's going to be enough. Because there's going to be temporary pain. Can you imagine if Obama, Clinton, Al Gore, Chuck Schumer, if they were talking about temporary pain? Can you imagine what the right-wing dominant media ecosystem, which then transmits all of its information onto the mainstream media, which carries the water de facto for this massive right-wing outrage complex that generates all of our narratives in this country, okay? All of our narratives are generated there. Can you imagine what our world would look like? So how do I get a Christmas jingle? Christmas jingle. Do they even have that? Christmas jingly do, jingly die. So Jason wants ska music, but Jason, we're going to get your suggestion and honor it in another day. Christmas music. What is this? Okay, we're gonna do it. This one's gonna go straight on the internet. Okay, everybody. Should RevDeuce? No, RevDeuce is gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the main. I'm gonna go to the main tub. Here we are in the main tub. This will be easier for RevDeuce to edit, I think. So here we go. We are. Everybody on Substack, everybody around the world, everybody surfing their way on the internet over to RevDeuce, who wants to be a fact warrior. We want you to go and share that article that we shared into the thing earlier. Why is this the perfect song for May 6th? Oh, because it's just funny. So we're going to improvise a Christmas jingle set to the idea that, why can you only change the volume once you start playing it? That seems absurd. Let's get the right volume. Okay. So we are doing a jingle based on the bullshit idea originating from the right that we should all accept temporary pain. We are improvising a song based on the bullshit idea originating from the right that we should all accept temporary pain in the economy so that we can have a long-term success. It is a lie that is being told to all of you, especially our MAGA friends and loved ones, by the most corrupt people who have ever existed in society, who continue to do corrupt things, and the disinformation ecosystem that you are hooked up to tells you to cheer. We love you. We want to be on the same side as you. We want to argue about politics with you, but based on facts and not on a manipulation stream of information that has been created for all of us. Okay, yes, Ed. So here we go. This is a song about the fact that Republicans are saying that we should be content with $2 instead of 30. What's that? I hear sleigh bells. Kids, come on downstairs. It's time to open all of your presents. Christmas Day. There's only $2 this Christmas. We used to get 30 or more, but there's just $2 this Christmas, and they are on the floor. We will share them, we will share them, we'll share them with the 7 of us, because our president says that we can only have $2 this Christmas. $2 this Christmas. We used to have 30 or more. We used to have presents and bread in the fridge, and we used to have more food. But the president says that I have to be okay with higher prices, and so I will swallow that whole because I'm obsessed with the president. The president says that I should be happy with having less. Yes, the capitalist president of the capitalist country, he is on my side too. There's just $2 this Christmas. We used to have 30 or more, but now the president says I should accept a less fulfilled life. I want to do this one again. Bluetooth. I'm going to do this one again. Okay. Hey kids, I hear Santa. Come downstairs. He's probably brought us lots and lots of gifts. What's under the tree? Is it a present for me? Or is it a present for me? What's that? Oh, it's just a wad of old chewed gum. But Mom and Dad, you said Santa came. Well, son, Santa did come. But you see, President Trump said we have to be okay with accepting less this year, because we're going to experience some temporary pain for the joy of long-term sustained economic prosperity. And we should believe him because Donald Trump has always told the truth. Everybody knows it. Now go outside and turn that gum into a doll. Only $2 this Christmas. There used to be 30 or more. Yeah, $2 this Christmas. Made out of gum that we chiseled off the floor. Yes, I'm so very happy to be in Trump's America, where if Joe Biden said I had to suffer, I would lose my shit and cry. It's just $2 this Christmas. I'm so happy having less. Oh, what a joy. Hey
Dad, I'm going to go outside and play with the doll that I just made out of gum. I learned ingenuity and I learned how to pull myself up by my bootstraps. I'll never be a white person on welfare because most of the people who are on welfare are white. I love MAGA America, Daddy. Yay! Yeah, that music did get difficult. That music definitely did get difficult. I'm glad I did it a second time, though. I'm glad I did it a second time. We're going to edit that into some fire. $2 this Christmas. We used to have 30 or more. That's going to be fire. It is my desire to turn that into fire. That's going to be coming out this afternoon. Lickety splitskis. Okay, so we did a song, everybody, just to get everybody excited, just to get everybody having a good time. Let's see what people are saying. Streamlabs is Madison's male oppressor. It's going to go viral if everyone here makes it viral. Streamlabs is biased. Yes, absolutely it is. We want to talk to you. Do you have a friend or a MAGA loved one? Call into the program right now. We want to talk to you about your media diet and what you talk to your friend about their media diet. Yes, and please. We want to share with you the ways that you can get healthy, fact-based information because here in the Mega Church of Joy, we know that we are at all times in an information war. That's right, a bald eagle is carrying our brains across the internet at all times, and on the other side of our phones are giant fear-based dickheads like Elon Musk and Vladimir Putin. Elon Musk and Vladimir Putin and Steve Bannon. Elon Musk and Vladimir Putin and Steve Bannon are attacking our brains at all times. They are taking advantage of a commercialized corporate system for informing the public. A commercialized corporate system for informing the public that keeps us hooked on information light. In the face of a disinformation ecosystem built by the right-wing billionaires over the last 60 years, our mainstream media simply accepts what they say and launders it into the mainstream. But we here are fact warriors who make sure that everyone else is getting a diet that is healthy, that is so healthy that their buns are made of information tight. That's right, we are fact warriors in this world. How will you be a fact warrior today? I am going to show you right now how you can be a fact warrior. That guy's zone is so messed up. It is so effed in the A in a bad way because many people enjoy being effed in the A. But we're just talking about it in a bad way. Which I guess is like almost rape culture, so maybe Rev Deuce has to stop saying that. He thought it was funny, but sometimes Rev Deuce reverts back to the immature young man he once was. What could he say? He's trying to appeal to the manosphere. Oh, we have a phone call coming into the program, and we have to accept the energy. It's someone else's idea, and so we've got to support it. Yes, and you are on the program with Rev Deuce. Hello.
Hello, Rev.
Now, who am I talking to?
Michaela.
Hey, Michaela, how are you? Michaela, I'm going to reach across the internet and say I've got your back.
I've got yours, Rev.
Michaela, what do you want to talk about?
So you remember how the other day I was talking about the furry fandom and stuff like that?
I do.
I am currently getting ready to go to a furry con in Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm hopefully going to spread, like, we'll be watching your stream in the mornings, I'm hoping.
Okay.
I leave tonight, and so I'll have tomorrow morning, Thursday, and Friday morning, and maybe they'll let me put it on the TV.
What do you mean?
Well, they seem, I was talking to them about it the other day, and they seem interested, but they weren't, they were busy, so they didn't pull it up on their own. But I think I'm going to try to get them to sit down and join the stream and maybe call in with us.
Who are they?
My furry friends.
This is incredible. This is Thursday and Friday?
Yes.
Should I do some special content on, like, the idea that children who were furries in schools were getting kitty litter? Should I do some content on that disinformation campaign, or would that be upsetting to people?
No, you should. You should.
Okay. Well, okay, the next two, okay, Thursday and Friday are going to be dedicated to furries. I'm going to create some special furry content. Now, so you were saying that like with the TV, so you're not saying at the actual event, you're saying like in your
Like in the
Airbnb.
hotel. Yeah, in the hotel, yeah.
Okay, well, great. I love that. That's incredible. Spreading the good word. Madison says we're really doing it, guys. That's incredible. Michaela, I'm so grateful for that. That's so wonderful.
I think it'll be awesome.
I also think it'll be awesome. How many people? Are we talking thousands? Thousands of people in one hotel room?
Just 4 of us. So
I
me
love
and
that.
3 other people, but
That's so beautiful. As you're all getting ready and you're putting on your accoutrement.
yeah.
That's so fun. Are you laughing because that's the technical term that furries use, accoutrement?
No, I've never heard that before. I'm laughing because that's like a silly word.
Accoutrement? Who speaks
Yeah.
French here? Accoutrement. It means like your trappings. It means your accessories. Accoutrement. Accoutrements is what we say. We say accoutrements. An accessory item of equipment or dress. So maybe, some of your furry flair.
Okay.
David says it's literally written on 6 things in the shop. Hey, Michaela, while I have you here, what's your media diet?
I did just recently install Instagram back, so a little bit of Instagram now. I've been staying at my grandparents, so I guess a little bit of Fox News, but not on purpose.
Okay, so yeah, you talked about your grandparents and Fox News the other day, I believe, but wait a second now. So hold on. So we know, and you know, because you are a member of the Mega Church of Joy, you know that 60% of influencers do not fact check any of their information before they share it online. So what news are you absorbing on Instagram, and who's telling it to you?
Oh, crap, I don't know. It's like, I feel like I haven't actually gotten that much news to have to take in. Like, people, like, post stuff on their stories, and I just ignore it at this point. Because it's like people are just trying to get people upset. I think that's the vibe I get from Instagram. Like, it feels fast-paced, just trying to get a rise out of somebody and, like, split people up is my feel. But
Who's trying to do that? Foreign governments like we've been talking about today, or you just mean people?
I mean, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, that's okay to not know. Can I give you 2 recommendations for accounts to follow so you can get good news? And I mean, it might feel to you like they're trying to get a rise out of you, but maybe that's just how the news is some days. But these are 2 newsrooms. Do you want them?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, great. Although I do think that let's look into this. I've been meaning to look into this. Will you stay on the line with me, Michaela? Do you have time?
Of course, yeah.
Okay. So look, we're gonna look this up now. So I want to make sure that I think that now this is probably it feels like it's funded by the Democratic Party, but that's probably not. Let's see. Numerous accusations. Oh, sexual misconduct. We don't like that. It accounted for controversies and errors. Okay, hold on one second. Who funds now this? Funds. What? Come on now. Who is behind now this media? Stick with me, Michaela.
You're good, Rev.
Vox Media. Oh, Vox Media spins off Now This. Okay, great. I'm totally okay with that. Vox Media is totally fine with me. Fact-based news organization. There is no such thing as objectivity in journalism, so we must be looking for a bias towards democracy and facts. So here we go, Michaela. Okay, boom, boom, boom. I like the name Michaela. It's kind of a name that started to be popular starting in like the 90s. Were you born in the 90s or you were born in the 2000s?
No, I was born in the 2000s, but my dad said he had it picked out when he was in middle school, so who knows?
Your dad had it picked out when he was in middle school. That's funny
Yeah.
because that means your dad was in middle school in like the 70s or something. And that's
No.
funny. What?
My dad was not in middle school in the 70s.
The 80s?
Nope, the 90s. I have very young parents.
I was going to say.
But
I was in middle school in the 90s. Is your dad in his 40s?
yeah,
Incredible stuff. How old are you?
19, about to be 20.
Oh, okay. Well, that all makes sense. Okay, so here's the first one, okay? I want you to go onto Instagram. Everyone, you're going to be fact warriors. I want you to go on Instagram, and I want you to access Perfect Union, okay? It's Instagram.com/Perfect Union, but I guess you just type in Perfect Union. Here is the logo right here, more Perfect Union. Everyone else who should be a fact warrior with all of us here, if you are new to the program, we are fact warriors, so I'm going to put this here. I think I'm going to make another article soon that's like 5 social media newsrooms. That's a good one. 5 social media newsrooms. Hell yeah. Deuce is doing it. Okay, so More Perfect puts out incredible stuff. And this is a way that you can get news. This will be high quality news for you, okay? Wait, is this? Yeah, okay. You know, sometimes they put out silly stuff, I guess. But like, so here's a good one.
Area called me and said, hey, somebody's
This is about Silicon Valley tech billionaires buying up stuff. This is a pro-worker newsroom.
This is where AT&T was broken up. That was in 1984, so it's been a while.
This is about inside the case that could break up Google, okay? I mean, all the stuff that 19-year-olds are clamoring for. But anyway, you'll be more aware of what's going on in the world. So here we go. And then the other one that I want you to check out is Now This. Now This is doing incredible stuff. Now This Impact. And it's persuasive, fact-based stuff in a time when we need to be working our butts off to get people off of the disinformation stream of information. So Now This Impact is what it's called. I think they have other accounts, so give me 1 second. Because I care about you, Michaela, and I want you to have a healthy media diet. I want you to have a healthy media diet. I'm going to give you another one. What's this with 2 others? Fight for Progress and Courier. I'm going to give you another one. You know what? I think it's time for me to push Courier. Courier is specifically engaged with the Democratic Party, but at this point, I do not care because there's only one traditional party in this country, and the other party is extremist. So go check out Courier Newsroom, started by Tara McGowan. Okay, I'm actually going to take notes because this is what this piece will be. More Perfect. Courier. Now, here's another one for you. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Let's see what this guy. This is just a guy. And then you can come back to me and you can be like, you know what, Deuce? I was so grateful. You don't have to be grateful. Now, which guy? There's 2. Oh, okay. Who is this guy? He's a political strategist and an Obama appointee, but he's fact-based, so that's what I care about. Oh, what did he do about big balls? Oh, he just said we're living in hell. Here, but this is the kind of stuff this
Trump's
guy
crypto
does.
coin with the explicit goal of trying to buy his influence. Trump's crypto scam is one of the biggest corruption scandals in presidential history, and barely anyone's talking about it. But if you've been following me, you've been on this story from the start. An international trucking
Yeah, so Sawyer Hackett, okay? Hackett. All right? And that's advice for everybody. Everybody can do this. So, Michaela, let me know how that goes for you. Let me know if you end up being a very smart person. Because as we know that if you, in 2012, if you only watched Fox News, you knew less about the world than if you watched no news. Isn't that funny?
That's crazy.
Isn't that bizarre? So, Michaela, we're so grateful for you. We're so grateful that you're starting to care about your media diet, or you just like the dumb videos that I make. I don't know. But we're so grateful for you, and we're so grateful that you want to share what we're doing here. And so I am going to figure out ways to now, like, can you give me some advice? So, like, what do furry people like? Like, what will get them to cheer right off the bat when they're like, Michaela's doing this, like, she's showing us this weird guys like as old as her dad, and like, what the hell is this even about? Can you tell me what what would make the furries lose their minds?
If I send you a picture of their fursuits, would you be able to put it up?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I'll send you a picture of their fursuits. I think that'll make them crazy.
Okay, fursuits is a thing. What else did you tell me the other day? You talked about like people who are creeps. They're like zooalia.
Yeah.
It's basically bestiality kind of, but it's zooalia.
Yeah, that's a big like bad thing in the fandom. I actually just watched a video essay on it this morning. But yeah, it's always like before or after a con, things will get out and people will be like, oh, here's this person, like, watch out for this person, and it's like, whatever. So Twitter, before and after any furry con, goes crazy. So I try to stay off of it right before and right after.
Well, we should all be staying off Twitter all the time, actually, because Twitter is a disinformation cesspool that was bought by Elon Musk so that he could tune it in support of Donald Trump. People talk about a $270 million, however much Elon Musk spent in order to buy the presidency. But, you know, we also have to factor in the $44 billion as well that he leveraged. You know, the thing that wealthy people are allowed to do is they are allowed to get loans based on stock holdings or shares that they have in things, which is totally effed, and we all don't have that opportunity. And so he was able to leverage all of his stuff to buy Twitter and destroy it. And it is a disinformation and hate and anti-Semitism and misogyny and white supremacist hellhole. So, Michaela, I would encourage you to start talking to your friends and loved ones about that, especially in the furry community. And if it's possible for them to get off of Twitter, that would be incredible. Now, let's check in on the Twitter. Do any of them use Blue Sky?
They do. Blue Sky has been that was a huge movement from anything Meta to Blue Sky for a minute in the furry fandom. And then people were like, oh, well, I'm not getting enough engagement. So they ultimately stayed back. And that's what the biggest shift was, especially, I don't know if you know about the art scene, but Kara or whatever was meant to be no AI art, and Meta is now taking people's artwork and taking it and feeding it to AI. And so we tried to switch over, but it didn't launch because you already have people on your Instagram, which makes it, harder to switch. So.
Okay, I understand. I'm currently looking at furry content right now. Someone named Kev is showing furries. This is called Furry List, and it has 57,000 followers. Maybe you know this person. They're a chief executive otter. I don't know what that means.
Rev, do you want to know what an otter means?
Yes.
So do you know what a bear is?
I know what it means in the gay community.
Okay, yes, then it's kind of the same. So usually people who have personas that are otters also are otters. So they play into that. So it's kind of the same.
This is fascinating. Michaela, can you tell me is it okay? Can you tell me how you got into furrydom? Furryism?
I got into the furry fandom when I was in 7th grade. I was reading Warrior Cats, which is a gateway drug to the furry fandom, and I started doing art. And then I fell in love with furry art. I was like, wow, you can draw them, but like humans, and that's kind of cool. And then fast forward 6-7 years later, now I make fursuits and make art for money. So
you make art? You draw stuff?
I'm actively, while listening to your stream all morning, I've been doing Con Crunch because I leave tonight. Well, I leave tomorrow morning at 2 a.m. to go to a con. So I've been making badges for people and doing art. I have 6 badges stacked right behind me. I just have tons of art that I've worked on today. So.
9 ways to beat the Con Crunch. Con Crunch, whether you're new to cosplaying or a well-seasoned veteran, you're bound to run into this phenomenon. If you find yourself still trying to finish your cosplay with the convention weekend getting closer and closer, then you are in Con Crunch.
Yeah, I've done pause for an event before.
Yeah.
So, Con Crunch is real.
Well, thank you everyone for coming on this detour with us into the world of furry fandom. So what kind of a furry are you?
So my persona in furry is going to be, his name is Soul, and he's a dragon hyena creature.
M furry?
Yeah.
Do you want to promote your stuff here or no?
If you go on Instagram and you search Lemon Raccoon, I'll come up.
This is fascinating. Lemon Raccoon. You know what? There should be a segment where we just talk to people about their hobbies. Tom Brady is in the Substack chat. Tom Brady, and famous for deflating footballs and cheating in multiple seasons of football. Tom Brady, famous for putting a MAGA hat in his locker room at one point and then saying, hey, I don't know anything about any of this stuff. And that is the problem. We all need to engage civically, yes, and worship facts. Okay, wait, oops, Lemon Raccoon. Here we go. Lemon Raccoon. But so are you a Lemon Raccoon?
No, it's just a name that I came up with. I don't know. It's,
Is it Mac FWA?
yeah.
Oh my God, is that you?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God, there you are. Is that you?
All of that is stuff that I made. So, yeah. Oh, on the story, that's my buddy. So on the actual page, that's going to be me. Sorry, there's a delay on the camera and then this. But those badges on the screen, those are going to be the ones that I worked on. So, and that's my fursuit.
Oh my goodness. So you're going to FWA 2025.
Yes.
And this is you. This is you.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, look at you. You have a giant tail. What's that about? Is that a thing?
It's designed for you to actually sit on it. So it's shaped in such a way that the bottom folds into a seat and you sit back on it, and then the back of the tail folds into like a backrest. So it's really, really comfortable.
Oh my goodness, this is fascinating. And now, what does it feel like to be a furry? Do people give you a hard time who don't understand what's going on?
100%, but that's kind of anything. Like, whenever people don't understand anything, they give you a hard time. But furries, for sure. I actually just public suited on a college campus. And there's ways to do it.
Wait, what did you do?
I public suited, so I wore my fursuit out on a college campus. And so there's ways to play it to where you come off as less threatening and people don't aren't like, oh, that's weird, like it's, or you could just walk around awkwardly and then people are like, yeah, that's weird, don't do that. You have to engage with the people around you to make it less, I don't know, strange, to make it feel more personal. So. Now,
can you tell me about this? This shirt says gay sex.
Oh, so that is, it's also on my skateboards. It is a design. I'm working on a comic, and it's the band name that my characters are in. So.
Incredible.
I came up with it in high school band class. So, yeah.
This is incredible. This is incredible. Who's this person? Who's this?
Here, wait. I gotta wait for the delay. Oh, so that's gonna be the buddy that I'm staying with. That's one of them.
Flurry of Petals.
Yes, that's my buddy.
And now, where do you all meet?
So we all live in the same area. So we all are, going, like, we're literally going to have a sleepover tonight and then just leaving tomorrow morning, and we're going to hang out for like 7 days.
This is a scary one.
Oh, the skull? Yeah.
Is that you?
That is me. I made that one.
I like that you wear Hanes, but then when you do the illustration, you make it bark and woof.
Yeah.
Are you a dog?
He's a hyena.
Oh, right, a dragon hyena. Now look at this. You're in the pool. You obviously you don't go swimming.
Well, you can. Usually the pools aren't deep enough that my head is in because I'm not like incredibly short, but I don't know. It's like I take pictures in the pool sometimes too, but I don't post those as much because they don't do as well. It's more for me to have for memories. But.
And you're also a skateboarder.
Yes, that is Lance though. So that is going to be my buddy.
Are you good at skateboarding?
I'm not necessarily that great, but I started a skate company, and that's doing great. So.
Whoa, entrepreneur. You started a skate company. What do you mean?
I started making skateboards, and then I started selling them. I have a couple of shops that want to sell my boards, and I have I'm working on making a website and an online store, but it's all, in progress.
Wow. Okay. Fascinating stuff. Show him the meat board. What's the meat board? This one looks kind of sexual. I'm not gonna lie. This one. What's going on here? What is this? What am I looking at here?
If you go all the way, up, there's gonna be one of my highlights, and it's gonna say skateboards, and that'll have the meat board in there.
Meat board, skateboard.
Yeah.
Oh wow, furry collection. Oh, this kind of sexy thing is there too. Okay, Marlboro. Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
So this is the art that you put gay sex. Oh my god, the gay sex collection. Incredible.
The second one on the gay sex is a what was it? I had it 2 seconds ago. What is the word?
Can I ask you another question?
Yeah.
Okay, so wait, how do I get out of this? So I won't taking me straight to here. I got to go back to Lemon Raccoon. Now, can I ask you, so you said you go to a college campus to now is that to raise furry awareness, or just because you want to be out in public? Is there something about furryism that is akin to I don't know, not akin to being closeted, but is there something that is sort of I don't want to hide my furryism. I want to live in a world where furryness is accepted and normalized. Is that part of why you would go walk around a college campus, or tell me about that?
So the reason I walked around this college campus is because it's going to be one that I'm attending in the fall. I have been asked to join the furry club and help run it. We're going to start it in the next 2 years. That's the goal. And so I've been asked to do that. So putting a furry presence on campus to try and recruit other furries to come and join would be cool. So that's why we were trying to make ourselves aware on campus that day. And also, we do want to do some public speaking on campus to get some cool interactions, and we want to maybe even raise awareness, have if we get a club together, we can have, we can not rent, but hold a space and give, a presentation, and we could talk about how, the truth about the furry fandom and what isn't true and the misconceptions, and then we can, inform people and also just talk about it and make it seem like it's less crazy,
So at its core, so you told me about your journey from going from cool cats to, that was the gateway drug, and then you started to do the art, and then you started to go out and be the new future head of the furry club at your future college that you'll matriculate at. But so what does it mean? Is it just the form of cosplaying that suits you? And so I can understand cosplaying in the sense of some people just like to be different and feel different and feel a different way. And often costuming is, historically been a way that we can achieve different modes of being and modes of feeling. In my experience as a performer, when you put on a costume, when you put on, your character's wardrobe, you feel different and it's kind of cool. I just am so curious, so what else can you tell me about it and what it does for you and how it fulfills you?
So for a lot of people, a what they wish they were or what they could be, identity-wise, whether that be gender or even just expression, I feel like I have my persona pretty close to who I am. I act like me in it. I don't try to be anybody that I'm not in it. I he is exactly he would do in any situation the same thing I would do. He's not me idealized or anything. He is the just a raw guy right there, And so, but for a lot of people, it is this form of your ideal self, or being which I think is interesting, and I don't understand that side. and I want to, and I feel like kind of like outcast because I don't get that. Like I just make him how I am, and I don't have like this, oh, well, I actually wish I were this like cool, striking biker hyena like thing. And no, like it's not like that, you know, for me at least.
Incredible. What incredible perspective. Can I bring it full circle and ask you what you felt like when they started to attack furries in the national bullshit culture war conversation?
So I was a little upset, because there was a moment where, so 2023, Ron DeSantis put in place where you couldn't attend a furry con if you were under 18. And I, thank God, was 18. But a couple of my friends couldn't go because of that. And then I was like, okay, what is the reason? And it's like, oh, well, basically, it's all sexual. And this is like something that, you know, blah, 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 whatever. And it's like, first of all, not true. It's just a cosplay event. And then, but now it's like kids are doing weird things because they're kids. And people are like, oh, furries are like evil and dangerous. And it's like, literally, no, they don't want to use a litter box. Stop making stuff up. Like, it's not that deep.
It's not that deep.
It really isn't, and it never will be.
Except for maybe some of your friends who do, you know, who are deeply tied at their core to the being that they have created. Not to undermine what you were saying, but yeah. Wow, incredible. We have a chat in the Substack that says, someone says, Robin says, I so needed this conversation. Thanks, D and M. So, Robin, you've been here the whole time because you know that Michaela's initial is M. So, Robin, you little lurker, thank you so much for commenting and being involved in our conversation. And so I'm so curious what Robin even means. Robin just needed a conversation between two people where someone was curious about another person's hobby? Or, Robin, are you also a furry and you were curious as to what Mom Rose says, U.S. government, it's not that deep. Now, Mom Ro, you were born in 1997? Everyone is so young, and I'm so old. Incredible stuff. Age, how that works. Well, while we wait to hear from Robin Curry Kendall? Robin Kai Kendall. I'm so grateful for your conversation as well today, Michaela. And so we are going to look into how we can make some content. Robin was born in 1953. Well, Robin, we'd love to talk to you if you want to call into the show. So, Michaela, I'm so grateful for the time that we spent, and I will think about how I can investigate the whole deal of the furry thing and how I can tailor some of the programming to the furry thing. We'll make like a Fact Warrior meme that is with furries, and so it'll be cool. Is there an ideal furry? Is there like an ideal one, or is it no? Because it's so the beautiful pastiche that is the furry community is like everybody is appreciated.
There is sort of like the founding fathers of furry, like in the internet culture, but I guess just a wolf is, you know, that'll do. That's the biggest thing. So. Okay,
a wolf it is. All right. Yeah. Well, Michaela, I love you. Thank you so much for calling in. Michaela, will you tell someone that you haven't told them in a long time that you love them today?
I will do. I will.
Hell yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Michaela. I love you. Thank you for thinking about ways that we can bring in some more people into this program. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you for having me on.
Of course. Robin says, I'm truant from work here. I would love to talk sometimes. Just a super discovery from Substack, Brian. Thank you. Well, Robin, yes, thank you so much. You know, look, I don't know. I mean, I'm grateful that you were into what just happened as we were talking, Michaela and I. At one point, I guess because there were furries on the screen, I got many more viewers. I don't know why. And then on one of them, YouTube or Twitch. And then I was like, is everyone into this? Like, obviously, I was enjoying talking to Michaela, but like, you know, this is not ostensibly what the program is about. But look, we're just going on a journey. We're following the energy. We are improvisers in this world. Oh, I had an idea. My idea was that we start playing improv games as a way of engaging with the church aspect of this, the religion aspect of this, which is that this is a religion based on the tenets of quality improvisational comedy. And one of those games is literally just the gifting game, the giving a gift game. So someone says, hey, I got this for you, and they present it to you. And then the other person has to do the invention. They say, oh, wow, wait, is that how the game works? I got to get better at these games. I haven't coached in a long time. Robin says, I came in before the furries. I had no idea what grabbed me was just the format and subject. Okay, Robin. Oh, this is Robin's first time. Well, Robin, that means that you deserve to know a little bit more about what is going on. Yes, Mom Ro. Okay, everyone's curious here in our community. But so, Robin, we want to tell you something. I used to do this all the time. I used to do this regularly. But so, Robin, this is the Mega Church of Joy, a religion that I founded in 2014 after tripping a certain compound that reduces your ego on the shores of Boca Raton after my niece bought me an improv class because she thought I looked sad. And she's right. At that time, I was at rock bottom. I was selling seashells by the seashore to support my video game addiction. My dog had left me, and my wife ran away, Robin, straight into the Everglades. I never found her, never saw her again. And the Boca Raton Community Theater burnt to the ground 1 week before I was set to understudy Mr. Mistopheles. My dreams were dashed. My hope of being a New York City actor were hanging by a thread. And as I stood there on the shores of Boca Raton, fear appeared to me in the vision of one of those Benedict Cumberbatch dragons from those Lord of the Rings movies. And he was telling me what a piece of shit I was and how worthless I was and how I'd never amount to anything. And, you know, obviously it was a manifestation of the fears and the loathing and the doubt and the shame and the guilt and inadequacy feelings that I was having at the time. And I also was taking improv classes at that time. And so I was learning about how we are in control of our energy. You know, you do exercises where, you know, maybe you hold your hand low or you hold your hand high and you have different energy. Oh, he was wearing a Philadelphia Eagles jersey, the dragon that appeared to me. And so, Madison, amazing. And so, you know, I'm at the same time as I'm on this beach and I'm experiencing this vision, I realize that fear is my God. You know, I'm going on these improv classes and I'm stepping out in front of strangers and I'm going out into the stage to try to make people laugh, and I don't have any skill set. I don't have any tools, but they train you in the tools to deal with that fear and to connect with another human across from you. And so I realized in that moment that fear was my God, and I thought, you know, wow, fear is in control of my life. Fear is the one who tells me what to do and how to act. Fear is the one who contains the energy for me that I was experiencing in these improv classes, where I was being more of my authentic self and I was playing and letting my humanity come out. And most of the time as adults, we don't let that happen because fear, the moment we're born into this world, he injects us with his program of shame and doubt and insecurity and self-loathing and distrust. So we lash out and we judge others and we hate others and we are cynical ourselves, and we build up fear's patterns keep us walking in the same ruts in life, and we build up walls to human connection, obstacles as we displace the earth beneath us, walking fear's patterns and ruts. And so then I also became an information nutritionist. I co-founded a media and democracy project. I co-founded something that cares about how we're all informed, because I realized that fear works with information. And the people who have the power to control our sources of information and to control the headlines and to control the algorithms, they purposefully divide us so that they can consolidate power and keep us at each other's throats, and make it you versus me instead of us versus them. And so that's what we do here. We push back on fear's program by being fact warriors. I think I did a decent job of synopsizing. And so we worship facts. And I was thinking about this. then in a time where we are in a post-truth society, one that is ushering fascism and preparing the conditions for fascism and fascist violence to take place, someone is probably working on a TV show a la Severance that has to do with a world where nothing is true and everyone is so full of doubt because the people in power have spread so much disinformation that it is impossible to understand what's going on in the world. And so in response to that, there is a group of enlightened people. There is a group of people who understand that the thing that they must worship, the way out of the desert like Moses, is to worship facts and to devote their lives to facts and spreading them. Because it is only in the sanitizing, what's the word I'm looking for, light of the disinfecting light of facts, that we can hope to push back against the darkness and the grime and the disease of disinformation. Hell yeah, Robin says, thank you. I was a fact warrior before you were born. And golly, it has a price, but it's worth it. Golly, it has a price. It seems like there's a story there, Robin. Maybe you were engaged in the civil rights movement. Who knows what Robin's story is to say that, golly, it had a price to be a fact warrior. Maybe in a time of even more conformity. As we find ourselves back in a period of conformity where if you are on the MAGA train, you are a conforming person to the nth degree. So we're grateful for everyone who has been here today on the program. You do sound like a badass, Robin. We are going to say goodbye. David, I do not have the time to do another final song. I want everybody to understand that they should be fact warriors every single time that they are online. I want you to go, Robin, you can use these lists and you can tell people about them. So on Blue Sky, on Public Enlightenment's Blue Sky, publicenlightenment.com, you go there, and you got fact checkers, diverse opinion, historians, legal experts, and you have the news. Let's check in on the news. A conservative legal group with ties to Trump is suing Justice Roberts, claiming 2 e-court bodies should be controlled by the president. That's totally effed. You got video from a hearing pushed by Aaron Rupar, who lets us know about what the MAGA politicians are saying and the propaganda they're sharing. You got Democracy Now! Reporting on Trump's newest grift. You get the Alabama House of Representatives reported on by State's Newsroom. So you can go here and you can use these lists. What's about Grok? What? Musk's AI is removing people's clothes? What in the world? The Oklahoma GOP has updated their platform to include opposing funding increases for public schools. I mean, this is a war on humanity. Robin says, I try so hard not to be a badass, but you just can't keep it down. Thank you for the lists. Robin, absolutely. Please tell people about it. And then Robin also, you are on Substack, but we're going to show you, Robin. I've created products that you all can use. Videos like Liberal Media Bias is a Lie, Flood the Zone with Facts About Due Process, Charlie Kirk is a Billionaire PSYOP, Corporate Media is Doing a Bad Job, Here's How to Find News You Can Use, Barry Weiss is brought to you by Billionaires, Where to Find National News that tells us what's really going on, 4 websites to find peaceful protest. So these are products that you can use to help spread public enlightenment. And so I'm so grateful for everyone today. You are a fact warrior. Go out there, spread fact-based information every single time that you are online. We did not even get to use our coup consequences nightmare video today. Why is there no audio? No. Oh, I did not put up the audio version? Well, look at that. Look at that image. Betty Thomas, I'm so sorry to present this terrible image to you. Absolutely, I'm a Ken Madison, of course. So everybody go out there, be a fact warrior, okay?
Fact warrior.
I love you, you love me. We are an intergalactic family. Rev Juice has got to get to work.
Fact warrior.
Gonna make some videos, okay? Remember that at all times behind the phone is Steve Bannon, filling everyone's zone with shit. Okay? Are you sucking down information light? Or are you a fact warrior whose buns are so information tight? Go out there, worship facts, tell other people about the church you belong to that worships facts in the face of disinformation. In the face of a society created for us by Christian nationalist right-wing billionaires that is now being co-joined by techno-fascist billionaires, both of them accelerationists in their own way. For some reason, the really just weird, and everyone's doing the best they can with what they have, but the weird techno-fascists don't like other human beings. They want to create a world of bunkers and to get rid of the rest of us. That's their acceleration program. And then we have the Christian nationalist billionaires who want to get rid of the democracy and replace it with theocracy. MAGA friends and loved ones, you're so afraid of Sharia law. I mean, are you kidding my daddy? That is what Christian nationalism is. I mean, Sharia law is also not necessarily the boogeyman that it is made out to be by the people who tell you how to think and what to think. Robin says, don't forget the church that never changes. Robin, I do not know what you are talking about. Everyone have a wonderful day. I love you so much. Follow the fear. Yes, and. This has been the Mega Church of Joy. We can't wait to see you tomorrow. Joan, you missed it, but we'll see you tomorrow. You can watch this later on the tab on Public Enlightenment that says Mega Church of Joy. Goodbye.